Garupa 2 announced directly after Halidori? Here is everything you need to know about our notes, the brand new Bandori game. First, I'll go over the basics, then get into clearing misconceptions and addressing questions and concerns I've seen fans share. Our Notes is a new game created by Bushiroad and From Tokyo that will release in 2026. But what kind of game is it? We don't actually know yet, but considering what Garupa is, the safe bet would be to assume that it's a rhythm game. However, if Bushi wants to change up their style, an idol racing sim is something I've seen people talk about that could also be possible. The new game includes 5 bands, 3 of which we already know: MyGO, Ave Musica, and Yume Mita. Most people already know Ave MyGO since they've already had their own animes, but Yume Mita isn't talked about as often, so I'll give a quick rundown. Yume Mita is a group of YouTubers who stream on YouTube and also do their own live concerts like a lot of the other newer bands. They'll have their own anime releasing in 2026 that will introduce us to their story. As for the other 2, they are brand new: Milsage and Dumb Rock. We currently don't know anything about these bands except for the small snippets of their songs Bushi already gave us. Aside from that, we also know 3 of the girls' Seiyus, since they'll be performing at the opening act of the Ave Musica and MyGO joint live, Moment/Memory. The Seiyus are as follows: Yakushiji Ria on vocals and keyboard for Shiomi Hotaru of Milsage, Tachibana Mei on guitar and vocals for Suga Reika of Dumb Rock, and Suzumi Sakura, also on guitar and vocals, but for Mahashi Miku of Dumb Rock. I apologize if any names were mispronounced. Now that the basics are covered, I'll get into some of the concerns I've seen going around. Such as, if MyGO isn't listed as under Garupa anymore, what will happen to them? Will they be deleted from the game? To answer this, we have a note from the producer clearing things up. Thank you to Hana Mukes on Twitter for the translation. In the note, it states that MyGO will not have solo band events anymore in Garupa, but they will still continue to appear in the game through events taking place in schools or the live house ring. This likely means they will still appear in mixed events, but what will happen to MyGO further than that in Garupa is currently unknown. But that doesn't explain other worries. Namely, why even add MyGO to Garupa at all if this is the case? For this, I can only give my own opinion as to what may be the possible answer. Bushiroad likely didn't know how well MyGO would be received, and when they were added to the game, there was no plans for a second game. But that does raise another concern. Isn't that just sloppy planning? When MyGO was first announced, it was only as part of the Bang Dream franchise, not Garupa itself. Then they were added to Garupa. Now they're not? This indecisiveness shown in Bushiroad's past raises questions for the quality of our notes. If the game wasn't planned until after MyGO's implementation, was it rushed? What about the fans who put a lot of time, effort, and money into MyGO on Garupa, seemingly for nothing? These are all valid concerns we don't have answers to yet. My personal opinion is to hope for the best case scenario until proven otherwise. And plans changing doesn't necessarily always point to something being rushed or poor planning. But that's just my point of view. We won't know until more information is out. Either way, this is still a good thing for both newer fans and fans of the OG7. I don't think this is a cause for alarm or a road pointing to Garupa's EOS. All MOBA games inevitably EOS, but this is still better than forcing Ave Musica, Yume Mita, and all the new bands into Garupa. This allows the OG7 to get their spotlight again and not have to compete with the newer bands for content. It is very likely these games will have 2 completely different teams. The Garupa team can focus on improving the game instead of worrying about new bands, perhaps even implementing Kirafest back into it. While the Our Notes team can focus on trying new things and bringing out what makes each of the bands different, as they all do not fit the same mold that the OG7 bands do. Okay, so that's great and all, but the final question I've seen around is, why add 2 more new bands? To this, my only guess would be that it's a bit difficult to start a new game with only 3 bands. Adding 2 more gives Bushiroad more to work with. Alright, well, I believe that's everything I wanted to say, so please leave your thoughts and opinions about this game in the comments, and feel free to like and subscribe if this was helpful or you enjoyed. If you want to know more about the other multimedia game releasing this 2026, check out my Everything You Need to Know About Hololive Dreams video. Thank you and have a nice day.